Sunday morning, the Sunday before Christmas. Everybody is busy, busy, busy. I know I am. So let's see what's going on here. Let's get connected to the live stream. If everybody can hear and see me okay, just hit the like button for me. That would be greatly appreciated. What's going on, Rick? Good to see you. Get connected to the comment section here. If we can't get to the live stream, there we go. All right, there I am, 100%. So today, if you didn't see the title, I'm gonna make some homemade eggnog. I'm gonna attempt to. I haven't made eggnog in a couple years, so I'm pretty excited to make that. GH, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. Get my sleeves rolled up. And we're gonna get into this. And it is already hot in this kitchen. Boy, the sun's been out and it is like a greenhouse in here. There we go. What's going on? Clickety clickety, yeah. Yeah, the Beagle's on the prowl for something that she's imagined is outside. There's actually, Rocket, what's going on, buddy? Good to see you. Yeah, the Beagle, there's, you know, with all people visiting other people in the neighborhood, and there's other cars in the driveway, she thinks she has to be on patrol this morning to make sure everything's going all right, and that there isn't anybody in there that there isn't anyone around that shouldn't be around. So she's been doing that all morning, which has kept her sort of occupied, but sort of not occupied. So anyway, and so we will be using a little bit of cast iron, but I'm also going to be breaking out some stainless steel. I've got my 1970s Rivel triple saucepan, which I'm only going to be using half of that. I'm going to use my double boiler, so I don't need the steamer part of that. So I can set that off to the side here. Lily's Farms, good morning, Lily. How are you? Billy Lee, nice to see you this morning. So I'm going to be using my double boiler to make the eggnog first. I've made eggnog in a while, so hopefully that I don't. It's been a couple Christmases since I've made eggnog, because nobody but me likes eggnog. It's like fruitcake. In my house, I'm the only person that likes fruitcake, and I'm the only person that likes eggnog. And so I'm going to make a small batch of eggnog. We are going to be spiking it, and I did open the bourbon up and check and make sure that it was working fine. It's 100% working good. And then we're going to make some shortbread cookies from a recipe that I got from the folks out at one of the guys that works out at the dairy, and he actually gave me some shortbread cookies, and I tried them out, and boy, I'm not normally a shortbread cookie person. I'm more of a chocolate chip, Reese's Pieces kind of oatmeal raisin kind of guy, but these shortbread cookies were pretty good. So I'm going to try and decipher the recipe of this. It's been passed down through a lot of people, and then this one is the one I got. I'm going to cut this in half, actually, because I don't want to make 300, I don't want to get 96 shortbread cookies, so I have some moonshine in mind. You are braver than me, Billy Lee. There are a few liquors on this planet that I do not mess with. One is Ouzo. A drink I try and stay away from is a dry martini and moonshine. Those are the ones that I do not. Other than that, everything else is on the field. Everything else is play ball, but man. Let's see, Mrs. R says hello. Hello, Mrs. Rock Caver. How are you? I think I've told the story of the moonshine, why I absolutely cannot stand moonshine. And I had a fella back when I was a kid, I mean high school age, 16, 17 years old. that that would get. He was from the hills of Kentucky, and he would go to Kentucky every once in a while and bring back moonshine. And and he would come back and he would bring this moonshine back and he would sell it to us kids underage. And I don't know what this thing was filtered through. Possibly an unalive dog is the only thing I can think of. And we did everything we could to try and mix this stuff with anything to make it somewhat drinkable. And even at 16, 17 years old, we would not touch this stuff. And to this day, the smell of moonshine, it just totally, it's kind of like the first thing that you ever drank in your life and you got sick on it. Some people it's Mad Dog, some people it's different things, but mine is moonshine. And then I had Greek neighbors for the longest time, and they used to love ouzo. And I don't know how many ouzo hangovers that I had that cured me of ever wanting to drink ouzo again. And if you've never had ouzo in your life, ouzo is one of those things that tastes and smells exactly like black licorice. Hey Rich, what's going on, buddy? Congratulations on your channel's accomplishments of hitting all those subscribers. You've hit so many subscribers, buddy, I don't even know where you're at. I think you're at 13,000 now in such a really short period of time. That is amazing. So we're going to use the double boiler. I'm going to get that ready, and I'm going to get that heating up, actually. And hopefully I remember how to make eggnog from my this is my eggnog recipe from years and years ago. And I'm actually going to try, I wrote into the bottom here a while back that I'm going to try and put the meringue in it this time. So I'm going to try and remember to strain it, and I'm also going to try and remember to put the meringue in at the end and make meringue. So I wanted to add this. So let's get started with the eggnog, and then we'll do the eggnog first and get that going. That's what I've got the containers here in the back for. I'm going to put the eggnog into these because I have lids for them. If I was going to make it for today, then I would just serve it in a bowl or whatever, one of my punch bowls. But I don't. I'm keeping it for the week, so we're going to seal it. We're going to do all that stuff and go from there. So let me try and not mess this up. And we're going to start by separating our eggs. And I think I'm just going to separate into here to begin with. Now, I don't do it fancy with a strainer or anything like that. I do it eggs in one, yolks in one, whites in the other, and we're just going to go from there. Let me see here. So I've already kind of messed that up. Oh, I did mess it up. I didn't do it right. I got to get myself together here. I forgot what I was doing. Let me set that one off. Get another egg. I'm going to get another egg. It's been one of those mornings, so this doesn't surprise me that it's starting out like this already. Let me grab a different egg. Ooh, there we go. Put that off into there. There we go. Okay. There we go. And I've got my kitchen, but it doesn't help. I'm kind of discombobulated this morning. I've got my kitchen tore up because the island is on its way. I've got a new kitchen island coming in. And I've got some new garden. I've got some new plant stands coming in so I can propagate in my kitchen in the big window in here. And that's what, so I've had all that stuff going on this weekend. And I've been attempting to Christmas shop and all that too. So it is a busy time of the year. There we go. Oh. There we go. And if you want to make a ton of this stuff, just double everything up. There we go. Now we're getting it. You could do this with a strainer too. I never have much luck doing it with a strainer. I see a lot of people that are cool doing it with strainers, but I'm not cool, so that's how that works. Let's see. Now I want some eggnog. I know, man. I haven't had eggnog. Like I said, my kids hate eggnog, which I don't know if anybody hates eggnog or fruitcake, but people do. And this week, at some point, because Christmas is on Thursday, I'm going to do a pop-up, and we're going to make Christmas cake, which is basically lazy people's fruitcake. It works just as well, but I like to put the candied pineapple in mine, and I'm too lazy to get candied. I'm too lazy to make candied pineapple, to be really honest. And I have to go to town tomorrow, the other direction from where I've been going all week, and I'll be able to pick up my candied pineapples tomorrow, because I didn't want to drive an hour and a half just to get candied pineapples. Okay, so we've got that done. And the one thing about this is a lot of these ingredients that go from one to the next, the sugar cookie, or I'm gonna say sugar cookies 1,000 times, but they're not sugar cookies. They are shortbread cookies. Because my daughters all make sugar cookies this time of year. They've been talking about making sugar cookies, so I'm gonna Freudian slip that all morning long. But we are making shortbread. Okay, so we've got our eggs separated, and then we're gonna make our custard part of that. So I need 3/4 of a cup of sugar. And I'll be glad to have this island in here this week, so I can actually do stuff again. Okay, so 3/4, where's my sugar? Right here. Yeah, if you guys saw behind me, there's like piles and piles of stuff where I've taken stuff out. Scotty from H-Town, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. Good to see you. And we're gonna mix these into here. Yeah, I'm really stoked about this island coming in, because I don't have it. My kitchen table is actually in the other room, in the dining room. So in here, I've had a table, like a card table, set up like I'm having guests for the past 9 months. And I'm too lazy to take it down every week. So it's just sat here and sat here. So 3/4 cup of sugar, and I'm using raw sugar on this. So that's why it looks a little brown. It's not brown sugar. And we're gonna get that into here, and we're gonna whisk that up. There we go. And we're gonna whisk this together. And then we're gonna set, I need to turn my oven on over here. Turn the double boiler on low. And we're gonna whisk this up. Attempt to anyway. I'm also going to ground down some cloves. I've been wanting to, my clove jar is fairly empty. So I want to grind up some cloves because I got a lot of cloves to use this week. And we're going to whisk that down. And I'm also going to go ahead and add my teaspoon of vanilla and my nutmeg into here. And no, I'm not breaking out a microplaner to do my nutmeg, even though the Townsends and all these, you see all these fancy channels that were like, that's the only way in the world to make nutmeg. I'm using mine right out of the thing. Because it's funny, every time I use nutmeg, I get it, like there's a ton of comments in the comment section going, you know, you should get a microplaner. That's how a lot of people do it. And I'm like, I know that's how they do it, but I'm not doing that. Let me see. So nutmeg. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put that into there. Half teaspoon of nutmeg into here. Half teaspoon. And I'm working, because I've got so much stuff right in this one little spot, I'm working with having to go back and forth a little bit. Let's see. So a half teaspoon, put that in there now. There we go. And 1 teaspoon of vanilla. There we go. There we go. It's already looking nice. Smells really good. The smells of Christmas. There's nothing better. The one thing I've decided that this year I do not like, for whatever reason, is everyone purchase cast iron cure. You know what? The cast iron cure, yeah. Let's see, everybody hit the like button. Everybody subbed. But yeah, the one thing that I have realized that this year that I'm not down with is Christmas music. I'm not, I don't know why. I don't know why Christmas music is like hitting me the wrong way this year, but I am not down with Christmas music this year. Normally I like a little John Denver and Peggy Lee, but for some reason Christmas music is hitting me wrong this year. Let's see. So I've got that in there, and I'm gonna wait till the end to throw the bourbon in. So let's go over here and we're gonna start getting this together. These little rival triple saucepans. I don't know what I ever did without it. There's a little speck of something in there. But I don't know, these are the best double boilers ever. And you can usually get them, you can find one of them on, I recorded Yogi's First Christmas, I'll watch it later. I didn't know there was a Yogi First Christmas. That's funny. So let me break out some milk. You need a couple cups of that. And we're gonna get that simmering in the background real quick. This out. It's got a little egg in it that we didn't need. There we go. We're going to go 2 cups of this, 2 cups of milk, whole milk, if you're down for whole milk. There we go. How about that? Yeah, I had no idea. I had no idea where there was a Yogi. I probably have. I've probably seen it, but there's so many Christmas. But I kind of just stick to the Bass and Rankin Christmas specials. Those are my personal favorites. And we get our cream out. Cup of this. It should be most of this carton. Or half the carton. There we go. That into there. There we go. I did it this way. Normally I would just use my milk from the dairy, but let's see. We'll watch you cook. For some reason. Yeah, I have no idea. This comic reminded me of my favorite uncle. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. So let's put this away. You guys in the shot okay? Yeah, it's in the shot. Stacey Williams, good morning. How are you? It's a 2-hour program on network TV. Emma Simon, good morning. How are you? Good Sunday morning, everybody. We'll wipe this off the side. There we go. Waste not, want not. As I say way too often. Rinse this out because I am going to need it again. Then we're going to grind up some of these cloves because I want to add the clove to this because I am going to have to strain this at some point as well and temper these eggs. Let's get over here, back over this way, and we'll move this out of the way because we're going to mess with these cloves. So I'm going to knock these down. Some of these in here were pretty roughly done to begin with, so I'm going to grind these down. And I'm not going to worry about the mortar and pestle today because I'm going to have to do a bunch more. So we'll get these all down. If you don't have ground and you just have the whole, you can throw the whole in there with it because you're going to strain this anyway. I'm just grinding these down because I need to grind them down because I'm completely out. But yeah, you can throw in there like, here's my, if I can get it in there without knocking everything over. I have the whole cloves and you can just throw one, I have to take the lid off this, but you can just take one or two and just toss right into there. That won't hurt anything. And just have them, just drop them right into there. But I want to have some powdered cloves, so I'm gonna do that as I go. But I did toss in a couple of cloves into that. And this is mostly just for later on that I'm doing this. Have some to put back in the jar, which I'll do that here in a little bit. I'm just grinding them up now. We've already got our vanilla in, we've already got our nutmeg in, we've got our clove in there. So this is really just waiting to come together. And once that milk gets up to about 150, so we get that milk to about 150 degrees, we'll start tempering that into the custard mix, and then we'll add it all together. And I am gonna re-proof test the bourbon and make sure it works here in just a second. that into there. Got some roughly ground clove in there. And my pretzel's gonna smell good too. Grinder ASMR. Yeah. I don't know about anybody else, but I see those channels and that just creeps me out. ASMR is just, I don't know, is the strangest thing. When people just do stuff and they're like touching the microphones and everything. That just, oh my gosh. That just absolutely creeps me out. It's like nails on a chalkboard. Which I don't mind the sound of nails on chalkboard. My thing is people filing their nails. Filing fingernails is the one thing that really just sets me off. I don't know why. There we go. There, now we've got some ground clove, which I'll mess with that here in a little bit. We don't need to see me knocking clove all over the place, but I did want to have some ground clove for everything else I'm doing this week. So we'll set that off to the side. But people love it. I know, I know, man. Skrilla, I get it. I do not understand. Maybe that's just something weird about me, but I do not get ASMR at all. It it just totally creeps me out. Let's bring this back over here and keep stirring on this. Keep that from getting too sticky. Keep that going. But I think that's everything that I need. I got my cup of cream, 2 cups milk, 3/4 cup of sugar, 6 separated eggs. I'm gonna wait for everything else, but I am gonna give the bourbon a dry run. Because it's probably noon someplace. And I've got a frog in my throat this morning. So let's get rid of that. Yeah, I did put the vanilla in already. I did a teaspoon of vanilla. There we go. Here we have the Beagle ASMR. Yeah, we do, I guess. Yeah, now that I think about it. But she's finally in there doing, I don't know, finally not doing something. She has been go, go, go. Go, go, go gadget all morning long. I don't know what her deal is. Bone, what's up, Bone? Yeah, the bourbon's working. That seems to be just fine. I think of Jason from Friday the 13th with ASMR. What makes you think that, Scotty? Is it the sound effect, the classic Jason sound effect? Yeah, I don't know. This is going to be good and thick, though. One thing about the eggnog that I make, it is good and thick. And I'm really looking forward to trying the meringue in it. Plus, I get to break out my hand mixer, which I'm always a big fan of the hand mixer if I can ever use it. And we're just really waiting on these eggs, or the cream, to heat up over here on the side. And once that's heating up, we can, we'll be down. Make sure we gotta stir that a lot. Make sure it's not getting nasty on the bottom. Getting that skin. But I can already smell, I'm not gonna add any more clove because I can already smell the clove from the 2 cloves. I probably can't get them back out of there until I strain it. But that's smelling really good. this back up where it goes. Then at some point, even though it's like 100 degrees in here, I am going to have to let's turn the oven on and get it going. And I will show you guys what I'm using today for people that are newer to the channel. We'll start that at 170 degrees. Just knock the chill off of it. But we're going to be using my old post-Civil War griddle, gate marked. You can see the gate mark scarring back here on the back. I don't know where this thing's from. Everybody that's helped me date it has said it's post-Civil War to about 1890, so that's what I'm going with too. That's what I'm gonna say, but that's what we'll be using to make our cookies on. And if I need to break out the Lodge pizza pan, I'll break out the Lodge pizza pan. But I do tend to like to keep that on for pizza, if I can at all help it, just because it keeps that good pizza smell on there. It's like I've said before, I'm lucky enough to have different pans. I've amassed enough of a cast iron collection to be able to use certain things to do certain things. So pretty happy about that. There we go. Yeah, people are hitting that like button this morning. That's nice. And a little bit of salt. I am going to add just a little bit of salt to this as well. Not much, just a few sprinkles into there. Almost forgot the salt. I always forget the salt because I'm not a big salt person, so I always forget that. And let's see if this is starting to it all heat up. Turn this up just a little bit. We're going to get this up to a medium heat because we're not doing much. There we go. Make sure that I'm on Fahrenheit and not Celsius. There we go. Keep that stirring and stirring and stirring. And we'll have to temper that. We're going to have to temper the eggs. So what I mean by temper is we'll take like a few tablespoons of the warm milk and we'll add it into the eggs and kind of heat them up and then dump them in there so we don't end up with scrambled eggs. Let's see. I'm looking at no room left in my house to put cast iron. That's a good problem to have. Yeah, I'm just the caretaker till the next person. In 100 years from now, somebody I don't know that's probably not even born yet, is going to have my collection, pieces of my collection, and who knows where my collection's going to end up. Oh man, that's too bad, Skrilla. I've actually sold a few pieces of my cast iron here recently to make room for some other pieces, and I will, but to me that's not a bad thing. Sometimes you got to get rid of there's a lot of stuff. When I first started collecting, I would buy about anything. If it was cast iron, I would buy it, and I'm just at a point where it's time to pass those down to some other entry level collectors that want, or people that just want to use, which is great too. Nothing wrong with that. So stuff that I've sold a lot of the mid 70s, 80s, 90s Wagner that I had. Some extra pieces that I had like 2 or 3 of. Things like that. Pieces that I didn't use ever, that weren't really, somebody could more use them as a user as opposed to me keeping them as a collection. They just didn't make sense. Yeah, the Moon wasn't able to bring them. Just too heavy and didn't have the room. Yeah, man, I'm with you. I I've got a rack of cast iron that I've got. Do we really own anything? Yeah, we don't. We just kind of have it. It's like George Carlin said, we have a house that's just a place to keep our stuff, and eventually we get a bigger house so we can have more stuff. There we go. Now I'm starting to feel that boil underneath. You can see down here it's starting to get hot enough to where we're at. I just don't want to overdo this. I wanted to do it slowly. So maybe this is for the ASMR people. You can sit here and slowly watch this, you know. It will go on well after us. Not a lot can do that. Yeah, 100%. And it's even like that one piece that I just showed. I mean, that thing's probably, what, at this point in the game, 150 years old, and it's still making, I'm still making cookies and pizza and all these different things, making all this different stuff with it, and it still works. You know, I've spent the week trying to find a certain color of Le Creuset for one of my daughters, to the point where I sent her a check. I was so tired of trying to find this one. Not tired of it, but I was like, you know, I don't know if I would, you know, buy this or buy this one or used ones or new ones and all this other stuff. So I was like, here, this should get you a collection. You go find it. That'll give you something to do. I'll give you an activity. I don't know if it'd be a curse or a blessing to reincarnate this piece of cast iron cookware. Moldable lifetime. Yeah, my luck, I'd be that piece of cast iron that somebody paid like a lot of money for, and then sat into the bottom storage compartment underneath your stove until it ended up at the landfill. That'd be my luck. Hey Sango, what's going on? Good to see you. My fave, Eggnog. Yeah, and I'm even, you just missed it. If you just got in here, I just tested the bourbon out to make sure that it was working. And it seems to be on point. Let's make sure that this is starting to heat up. Because I wanted to do it really slow. I know that people are like, oh my God, can this be any slower? But we're at about 100 degrees. I want to get this to about 150, 145, and then I'm going to start tempering the egg, and then we'll get that in there. And then that's going to be done. We're just going to mix it in. I'm going to do the meringue part at some point when I get in about 4 degrees, I'm going to do the meringue. And, because I don't know how long, to be honest with you, I've never made meringue before, so I'm hoping that when I mix this in, one, that I have enough room in this saucepan to do it, and number two, that it actually comes out, because like I said, I've never made meringue before, but I wanted to add meringue to this for that classic look. I think for like the Christmas pop-up, one of the drinks, I've been kind of into this thing. I remember my grandparents, they used to go to the country club and they would have Tom and Jerry night, like somewhere around, it was like after Christmas, but it wasn't New Year's. It was like in between there. And they would have that Tom and Jerry's. And I had never had a Tom and Jerry before. And I thought about making that. There's a lot of these holiday drinks that I've always wanted to make that I've never made. Another one is butter rum. I've always wanted to make butter rum. But eggnog and elbow drops. I don't know what I've never heard of that. Yeah, I've never heard of an elbow drop, other than in WWE, in like old-timey wrestling. But yeah, the Tom and Jerry and the butter rum is something that I want to make this year. But there's so many different recipes for butter rum that I just don't know if it's at all possible. I'll take that down just a little bit because we're going to make the meringue here real quick. And hopefully this meringue hangs out. Hopefully the meringue hangs out for this. Because we're starting to round third and head for home on this eggnog. So we've got our leftover egg whites of the 6 eggs. There we go. But I'm not scared to make stuff, so like Julia Child always said, always be a fearless cook. Don't be afraid of the kitchen. So then we're going to add 1/4 cup of sugar into this. And that's going to be it. So I could be totally screwing myself on this, but I don't care. I'm going to try it. And I just added that shot of liquid courage, so that's going to be kicking in here in a second too. So we'll put our sugar in there, and then we're going to get our egg beater. And I'm not going to bring out the electric one. I'm just going to bring out the old Flint, Michigan Echo, and we're going to go from there. And see if we can make this meringue. I think it can be done. This is going to be sweet though. That's one thing about eggnog, that this is definitely like, I think eggnog should be taken before you should be drank before you go climb a mountain. Or those guys those strong men that pull cars. That's the kind of thing you should be having for eggnog. It's a wonder more bodybuilders and stuff, or strong men, they don't just live on eggnog with all the protein and funk that's in eggnog. Take the temperature on this milk. Yeah. I don't want to go too high on this milk. Turn that down. Because I'm right about 162. 160. Okay. We're going to want to up this a little bit, and I want to stir that milk a little bit more. I don't want to get a skin. I don't want to get that milk skin. And with that water on the bottom, that water will hold that temperature right at about 150, between 150 and 160. Some people even take their eggnog up to 180. That seems a little risky to me, but I don't know. Check the comment section. I have one of them. It's my mom's. One of these. It's starting to get foamy. And I can always put this on the back burner and keep going with it. And then we'll add it all at the end. Yeah, I absolutely love this little mixer. It's great for when you don't have, like when you're working in a small spot or you've already got a bunch of stuff out and you don't want to have the cords or break out your, like say a big mixer, like my KitchenAid back there. And this seems to be doing all right. We don't have the stiff peaks yet, but we're getting there. It's getting there. There we go. We get back to stirring this over here. Don't want that skin to form on the top. Getting pretty close. This is kind of turning into some ASMR, isn't it? Scotty, send them on. I missed that one. I'm all like enthralled with making these. It's starting to come around. Let's go back to mixing our stuff over here. And the oil is starting. It's kind of cool because the oil is starting to come out of that clove, and it's getting that. I can really smell the clove. Just a twinge of that clove, which is right about what I want. We'll take the temperature on this because I'm trying to keep it under. Yeah, right at 160. That's where we want it to be sitting. We'll do this for about we'll mix that meringue just for about another minute because it's getting pretty close. Let me taste it. That's meringue. So 6 egg whites and a quarter cup of sugar. One of these days I'll get adventurous and make some key lime pie. Never made that. There we go. I'm kind of happy with that for right now. Let's set that off into the back. If I got room. Move this out. And then we're going to temper these eggs. Give this another mix. That is thick, boy. Well, it's got a nice color. Nice color. But we're going to temper those eggs off because we're at 160. And we'll just use one of these cups and just sort of add just a little bit and work that into there. Because essentially we're going to want to bring that back into this. We're going to want to bring that into the eggnog. And raise the temperature of that up just a little bit. Without making scrambled eggs. And it's going to thin this down a little bit and let me work with it a little easier. This is where I wish the beagle could stir. You need to train that beagle to stir. It's the opposable thumbs thing that she has a really, she's got to get past that. That hasn't done anything yet. It tastes really good though. That the clove in that milk and the cream, that is right where I want it. Just those 2 cloves. You could probably get away with just 1. We'll see how that sits in there. And I'm going to add a little bit of cinnamon to this as well. Pumpkin spice. I'm sure pumpkin pie spice would work with that as well. There we go. Give that a second. And I am going to pop a little bit of cinnamon onto there. There we go. That's a lot. That's a lot of cinnamon. But I don't think that was a quarter. That might have been a 1/4 teaspoon. That's what the recipe calls for. And then we're just going to do 1 more. Biggs, how come you're not stirring this stuff? You're almost 2 years old. You should be. You're what? Almost 21. You should be able to come into here and do some stirring. Sit in there sleeping on the couch. This dog was so active just a little bit ago. Now she's in there, it's like sprawled out on the couch, doing absolutely nothing. 1 more. I'm going to do 1 more 1/4 cup of this, and that should be tempered where I want it. And then we'll be able to add that in. There we go. And it's thin enough. Finger taste that. There we go. Yeah, I like that. That's warm. Do 1 more. Do 1 more. Can't hurt to do 1 more. A little bit. There we go. Starting to get a little foam to it. There we go. I'll take that. Then we're going to stir that into there. Bring you guys over here. Right to there. There you go. Take this temperature, give it another stir. There's nothing stuck to the bottom, which is nice. Take its temperature, still at 160, which is okay. And I'm just going to add a little bit of this in at a time. Make sure I don't get any curdling. There we go. A little bit more. Oh yeah, starting to get that color. Oh man, now it's starting to taste like eggnog. God, I love eggnog. Eggnog is so good. A little bit more. Man, that's definitely tasting like eggnog now. The rest of that in there. Then I'll scrape that bowl. And there we go. You want to at least be at 150, 160. That way you don't have like, you can use the, you know, the raw eggs don't go bad. And one of the reasons that people put alcohol in the eggnog isn't just to spike it, it's to preserve it. So regular eggnog like this, it's going to last about 2 to 3 days at the most. But with alcohol in it, you can go up to about a week. Let me get a spatula, and we'll scrape all these the last of the sugar and the spices into there. There we go. And then we'll see if that dropped that temperature down, if we have to raise that back up or not. Because like I said, we're pretty much about done with this. I'm done with that bowl. As far as I know. And we'll just stir this in. Bring you guys over a little bit closer so you can see the color change on that. There we go. There we go. Can you? There we are. Oh, that smells, that's really good. Turn that off. And we're going to add some of that. I might actually need more than those 2 quarts. I never did figure out what I would do. Usually I just put this in a bowl and go from there. But we are going to strain that down here in just a second. And then we'll add the meringue to it. Yeah, that's good. That's pretty darn good. And there we go. That's where we want it. The temperature is down, which it should be about 165 at this point. $161. Take 161. 162. Take 162. And then we're going to add just a little bit of the meringue into this as well. If you can see the meringue over here, you can see that. Back that up just a little bit. You can see how that's definitely, give it another whip, just to whip it around. And then we've got our semi-peaks. If I let it sit a little bit more, it's pretty thick. There we go. So that worked out. Gotta feed my cows. Yeah, definitely feed your cows. I don't want your cows to go unfed. So we're gonna pour that into here. Pour this into this. This will make it a little easier to work with, I think. There we go. There we are. Okay. Then I'm done with the whisker. Done with this. Done with that. And set that over here. Set that off to the side. And then we'll get this, we'll add the meringue. into these things. Add the meringue in there, into that part. Then we'll get our strainer out. Which we do want to strain it. There we go. There's 1 quart. This might be enough for 2 quarts. Set that over there. And I'll put the meringue in there. A couple teaspoons of that to the bottom. There we go. A little bit of that into there. Pour that in on top of that. There we go. I'm going to have one of these that's hot, and then we're going to throw, not exactly even, then I'm going to drop just a little bit of bourbon into there. Oop, I knew I'd kick this stand. About a shot. About a shot in each one. There we go. There we go. There's that. Wipe these jars off. Yeah, there we go. That smells really good. Not a ton of bourbon in there, just a little bit. And each one. Then I'm going to make myself a cup of this while it's still hot. I want it while it's still hot as well. Wipe this off my board without knocking it over if I can. And I think I can just use my coffee cup. There we go. Use my coffee cup. Pour that into there. Maybe I can put all these in one. Knock that off over there onto the. There we go. Top that with a little bit of the meringue. There we go. And a little bit of the nutmeg on top. There we go. Some homemade eggnog. This one I'll set off to the side. And we'll see how that is. There we go. Can you guys see that? Okay. With the meringue on top. Man, that's good. That is really good. It's a little eggier than store-bought, but I'm down with it. Man, that's tasty. We'll let that sit off to the side. And we'll set a meringue off to the side as well, because we're done with we're done meringuing for right now. And I'll let this other one cool off in the back before I put the lid on it. That's really good. Probably have it all over my face. That's all right. And we'll save that last little bit, as though it doesn't look very appealing. That's good. I definitely take that. Yeah, I've never had meringue on mine either. That's the first time I've ever made meringue. And the meringue is really good. Like, I just tasting that by itself. I could have beat it a little, I could have beat the meringue a little longer, but, you know, live. We're doing live stream. Yeah, that's eggnog. Okay, so let me clear off the part of this that I've already, this part of my kitchen that I've destroyed. And now we're gonna do the shortbread cookies. The shortbread cookies, man, like I said earlier, I'm not a big shortbread cookie person, but my friend out at the dairy, Michael, was gracious enough to give me a plate of these. And I was so impressed with them that I really wanted to make them. So we're gonna do that. That's what we're gonna do next. Let me move the stand just a little bit out of the way for right now, as I make room in here. That hot water kind of soak that pan. Soak that pan up. But yeah, it's a little eggier than what a lot of, you know, like your store-bought stuff, but overall, still really good. Still really, really good. And I haven't made eggnog in years. A couple years anyway, 2 or 3 years. But that's the gist of eggnog. Okay. There we go. So eggnog is done. Yeah. I'll take that. That meringue is really good. I could eat the meringue by itself. And that was just enough bourbon to give it like a flavor, like, you know what I mean, to have that bourbon flavor in there. There's the rest of that. Go ahead and drink this. Might as well, if I'm going to have some sugar, I might as well just go all out, right? So yeah, it makes about 1.5 quarts. Makes about 1.5 quarts, that recipe. It's still nice and warm. But yeah, butter rum's the next one I want to make, and Tom and Jerry's. I have my yearly physical tomorrow, so I hope it doesn't show up that they're going to be like, wow, your blood sugar's really high. Your blood sugar's like crazy high. But I'm never one to get prepared to go to any of those things. But anyway, so let's mix up our, let me move this out of the way right now. Move the cinnamon. Give ourselves some space. Alright, so the eggnog's done. Let's see, I have to run full line sets for mini split. Take care, everyone. See you. See you, Billy Lee. Hit the like button on your way out, please. Romano Esposito, how are you? Good to see you. Hi back. Okay, we'll wipe that up. Wipe off my thermometer. And we'll get into making some cookies. And hopefully my butter has sat out long enough. I'm using unsalted butter in this. And I have to locate that recipe again. Okay, there it is. This is not my recipe. This is somebody else ran this off for me. And so we're going to do 1 1/4 cups of flour. Let's see. Now there's a way to do this. Let's see, half cup of sugar, cream the sugar and butter. So we're gonna do that first. Yeah, we'll do that first. We'll do the butter and the, according to this, we'll do the butter and the sugar together, and then we'll go from there. All right, so let's get another bowl. If I have another bowl. I have another bowl. I do have another bowl. Luckily, I have bowls for days. So there we go. There's that bowl. So we will start. Now normally this takes, I got to cut this in half because I don't want all of this. I don't want all this. So I'm going to do 1 stick of butter that is not melted, not softened, which it's been sitting here for 2 hours in this hot kitchen, so I'm really surprised that it is not. But boy, that eggnog's got me in kind of the Christmassy mood, I can tell you that. Definitely got me feeling Christmas-like. It's what I needed. So we'll just soften the butter up over here. I'll be sending those dishes your way. Take care, Billy. Yeah. Hey, Bob the Builder, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. So we'll soften, we'll break out the Desco-ware, and we'll soften this butter up. Soften the butter. There we go. 1 stick of butter about to be microwaved. This is the Badger's microwave. This is the Badger's microwave. Which, if you guys can see over on the corner side, I have a microwave that I barely use, which is going to the garage. And I cannot wait till that goes to the garage. So we're going to soften that up. And then in the meantime, I'm going to measure out, what do I need here? Let's see, a 1/4 cup, a little more than a heaping 1/4 cup of sugar. And I got to keep reminding myself that I'm doing this in a half a batch, or I'm going to end up completely screwing this up. So let's get, that should be about a 1/4 cup in that little thing there. Might have to break out more cups so I can keep making more and more dishes. That's my ultimate goal of every time I do one of these streams, is to see how many dishes I can actually make. And so far today I'm doing like, I'm exceeding myself. Let's see. See if there's a, let me make sure I did that right. 1/2 cup. There we go. Just about, yeah, I'll take that. So 1/4 cup sugar, plus whatever I knock out of that thing so I can wash it. So there's that one. We all in there? Yeah, we're all in there. Okay, so there's that. And then we're gonna wait on this butter for a second. I'll get out an implement of destruction to mix that around. I don't think there's anything else in that. These seem to be pretty straightforward, to be really honest. And we'll knock this butter in half. Kind of break the butter up over here and get that softened up without hopefully slinging it all over the kitchen. And this is unsalted butter, by the way, in case nobody saw. And it says, there's several things on here. One says 96 cookies, and the other one says 36. But this is one of those recipes that people have added to over the years. And one says that it was Aunt Mary's, which I don't understand this one. This recipe is my Aunt Mary's sister, Frida, that got this from her friend, who got it from a Scottish lady when he was in Scotland. And then it says to add names every time you give it to somebody. So I would love to give you the names of this, but there's way too many of you for me to add the names to the recipe to the people that I gave it to. Yeah, I still don't get that one. This is my Aunt Mary's sister Frida's. They got it from her friend. I don't know what kind of where this is all. I don't know where this recipe's been. Might have to get it checked out. It's been through some relatives that were sort of relatives and not really. And then through other folks. And then then from Scotland. I don't know. But Sanga, maybe you're from Scotland. Maybe this is a recipe from one of your relatives that gave it to Aunt Mary's sister. I don't even get that at all. I think it would just be Aunt Frida, right? Wouldn't it just be Aunt Frida? It's like difference between 36 and 90. I know, man. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm kind of winging this. This is sort of a wing it Sunday. And to think I was honestly just going to make General Tso's chicken. That was my main idea to do. But it was like the week of Christmas, and I didn't want to buy egg. I really wanted eggnog. And I wanted to have some cookies out in case, people stop. People show up, so I wanted to have that as well. And so we're going to raise the temperature up. We're going to do these. Now supposed to do these at about 325 for 20 to 25 minutes. And you want to raise your rack up from the middle rack up one. And I don't know if that's who's recommended to do that. It could be Aunt Mary, it could be Frida, it could be Charles, it could be a lady in Scotland, it could be Michael, it could be anybody recommending to do that. But I would say that's about where I want that butter to be melted. I do not want to cook, I don't want to make brown butter. So let's jump back over there. It's the recipe of many. It's kind of like the Dolly Parton song, Coat of Many Colors. This is the recipe of many people. But it's managed to make its way to me, which is that's pretty cool. So instead of cracking on it, I think I'll just make it and call it a day. Okay. So we're heating the oven up to 325. Go ahead and get this sugar creamed. And check out the comment section. So hopefully, something about salted butter. Let me see if I can catch the comments on here. Thanks for the support, Scotty. Bob, I am the salted butter. I missed that. I missed a good one, it looks like. Here we go. We can all take a minute if you have not already. Hit that like button. Hit the like button. As we cream this butter. If I would have been cool and made this really a lot easier on myself, instead of using raw sugar, I could have just used confectioner's sugar, or put this into the processor and powdered this down. That would make it a lot easier. I think what I need to do is have some of this eggnog. Oh man, that's good. Just the right amount of bourbon in there too. My sugar is going to be so high at my doctor-in-law. So we got that part done. Keep this going. It's going to need a minute, I think. It's more, this has turned into, as much as I said at the beginning, I just don't, I'm not a fan of ASMR. This has turned into an ASMR show today. Just like the gentle sounds of creamed butter mixed with raw sugar. This is so weird. Okay. Rick, I can't say that. Eggnog makes everything better. It's so far this morning, it's doing a great job. I should have had more coffee, but I think that's going to be about the last of my eggnog of today. I'm letting the other one sit on the counter, then I'll put a lid on it and put it in the fridge to be eggnog for the week. And eggnog's not one of those things you want to have glasses of eggnog. You just want to have like the small punch bowl size cups. It's really good though. That is pretty tasty. I just break out. I think I'm going to break out a whisk. Let's break another whisk out. Speed things up. Speed this up. Get this into the next entry. Get this going into modern times. There we go. Yeah, that spatula was a good idea, but it was just putting me to sleep. There we go. That's much better. There, that's creamed butter there. Definitely creamed butter. All right, so then we need, what is it? 1 1/4 cups of flour, unbleached, if you have it. It says today's show brought to you by the sounds of cooking. Yeah, brought to you by the sound. ASM, boring baking to put you to sleep. So let's get the flour in there. And I do happen to have unbleached all-purpose flour. And I should have, now they recommend sifting the flour. I don't sift flour unless I absolutely have to sift flour. And I already used my strainer for, I don't have a flour sifter actually. And I already used my strainer for the eggnog, so we're out of luck on the sifted flour. But what I can do is attempt, and I do mean attempt, to put this in just a little bit at a time. There we go. So there's one. I'm going to move this out of the way for right now, which I'm sure it's going to come into play here in a second. So mix that in. Yeah, between this and the Christmas jazz in the background and the ASMR, it's like Honey Badger's smooth sounds to fall asleep to. Oh, the stuff I do on Sundays. Okay, dump the rest of that in there. And then I'm going to grab, what is this one? Is that the 1/4 cup? Let's check it out. Yeah, and then a 1/4 cup of flour. So 1 1/4, because the recipe calls for 2 1/2. And my limited math skills say that that's right about where I need to be. There we go. So make sure I put in the right amount of sugar. Yeah, I did a 1/4 cup of sugar, so yeah, we're cool. We're good on that. We're all good. Okay, let me move this container out before I sling flour everywhere. Fill that next to the old hobby drink some eggnog. Yeah, I know, right? So ridiculous. Oh, this is getting ridiculous. But we're gonna have eggnog and shortbread. Way more fun than making General Tso's chicken. Maybe. Maybe it is. Okay, so that says we got to 325, right about enough time to dig this out of there. There we go. Maybe I should have used a smaller whisk. It would be really so much more difficult to get out. That looks like shortbread cookie dough, as far as I know, as far as I can tell. As far as I know, this is right. As far as I have no idea. Okay, so anyway, enough of the messing around. Enough messing around. Get into this. Much better than waking up on the linoleum. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna leave. Yeah, that's not true. You don't want to wake up on the linoleum. Okay. And let me see here. Makes about 32, 30, depending on how large they're cut. I don't know how I'm going to make it. He made these in little squares, and they were pretty, let's see, cream, sugar, butter, pat out on a board, about a 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch thick, cut into rectangular squares, and lay on ungreased cookie sheet. Okay, that seems pretty easy to do. And I'm actually going to get a board out. Get a glass board. I think a glass board will be easier to do this on. So there we go. One glass board. All right. Move some of this stuff out of my way. I will be so glad when this island is put up this week. So we'll set that off to the side. Put this over here. And everything sort of fits. All right. And he said to pat it down, not to roll it. So I'm going to believe what he says. And we'll just crank you guys right over to here, I think. Yeah. In the bathtub. Yeah, in the bathtub. There we go. And pat this down flat. And hope for the best, I guess. Okay. Doesn't seem like a whole heck of a lot, does it? These all together. And pat it down. So we get to about a 1/2 inch or so. Make a rectangle. Kind of put that together a little better. There we go. All that up. Could just make one big one. That's about where I'm at with this. Make one big one. into a rectangle. There we go. And we'll keep patting this down, though I believe it is sticking to this board. This off back here, I don't need that. And now just a little bit more, and a little bit more. There we go. I would say that's half to 3, about a ½ inch. Yeah, maybe a little thicker. There we go. I think that's a little more what I need. Okay. Move this bowl out of my way. Wash my hands. Oh, I don't need to wash my hands yet. And we'll cut this into squares, about 1 inch square. There's that. About like that. Those back ones a little bit bigger. I think some bigger ones back there. Okay. And I'll recut those again. So we definitely have, it's almost like those square things you get at the grocery store. There we go. All right, cool. Some are bigger than others, but they're homemade. Something was amazing. I missed out what amazing stuff there was. All right. Put this over that way a little bit. We'll knock that stuff off of there. Move this jar that we don't need, that used to house the sugar, onto here, ungreased. Check this for, see if it's a spinner. A little bit. What do you do? Okay. Now these bake up, in all honesty, into these squares. They don't really flatten out. At least the ones I had didn't flatten out. So we're going to hope these don't flatten out. And I'll probably have to end up rearranging them a little bit. There we go. Smooth sounds of shortbread and jazz, Sunday mornings, live from Badger's Kitchen. There we go. All right. I got 4 left. I think they'll fit. I think these will fit in here. So there's no sense in overdoing them. And we'll see how many we actually got. So we got 3, 6, 8, 12, 13, 14, 15. So we got 15. So I'm okay with 15 of these. Yeah, that should be plenty. That should be plenty for my house. And then we'll stick these in there for 20 minutes and see what happens. All right, let's do that. Okay, timer. And here's where the beaks comes in. This is what we do for the next few minutes. We play with the dog. And we put the lid on our, there's our eggnog. So we're going to put a lid on that and put that into the refrigerator. That came out really nice. So we got a quart of eggnog. I will take that. Let that sit there. Clean off our little space over here and see what's going up in the comment section. Absolutely nothing. Have I lost everybody? I've lost a lot of people. That's funny. The sweet and sour pork dish. Yeah, the sweet and sour pork was awesome. The sweet and sour pork, I'm telling you what, I smashed all that sweet and sour pork that night. That was totally, that was definitely restaurant quality. Takeout, 100% takeout right there. That was delicious. I have no quorum with that whatsoever. The eggnog is good. You might want to do a refill on that. Fuzz fork. Darn it, I accidentally hit the like button. Take it off right now. Get that off of there. Because I'm not doing makeup tutorials or standing there looking at the camera going, hey, like my channel, like. So there is no reason whatsoever that this channel should get any likes. Because I'm not doing any of those things. That's usually that's what you have to do, I guess, to get likes on the channel. Is you have to look into the camera as you do your makeup and go hit the like button, subscribe, hit the like button. Got to do that. But one of these days I'll do a makeup tutorial. Or just be standing in the front seat of my car going, hit the like button, because that'll get you 1 million likes right there. That'll get you hundreds. If I was somebody sitting in the front of my car with my dash cam on and my phone on going, hit the like button. That's all you gotta do. My eBay auction is about to end. I have so many things with that Le Creuset for my daughter that we've been looking to find. We've been looking to find this particular color. Of course, my daughter wanted the one that just bought a house. She's like, oh, I've waited my whole life to get a house so I could buy this stuff. And the one she wanted was a discontinued color, which was called Provence, which is sort of a purplish lavender color. And let's see, standing in the front seat. Yeah, it should be. Yeah, maybe I should just do that. Maybe I should just go out and get in my driveway, get in one of the cars, and just speak into a phone and do that. God forbid. But yeah, she wanted this one called Provence, which she sent me this picture of it, and I went to, I'm not a stranger to Le Creuset, and I have some Le Creuset, not a whole lot, and then but the one she wanted was discontinued. So it's been Le Creuset in Canada has it, but then it was like, she just gave me this color last Wednesday. So it's trying to get it here by Christmas or around by Christmas. And then it's like, you have to pay like a crazy amount of duty tax to get it in here. Try this meringue. I think the meringue's my favorite part. Yeah, they're famous for retiring colors. Don't forget the cat's only paws. Oh yeah. Yeah, Fuzz is only paws. Yeah. Yeah, then there's that. And then the other part that's frustrating with it is they didn't make that much stuff for it. Like they for that particular line, But then there's another one that's an older Provence color that's a darker purple, and they made all kinds of stuff for her. So eBay is where I've been trying to go. And at this point, the kid's getting a check to, she's just to the, those new L-shaped pots are interesting. I don't, L-shaped pot, I have no idea. Yeah, I haven't seen those. Eric, what's going on, buddy? Good to see you. There's somebody that's not afraid of the like button. Right there, that guy. We were just talking about the like buttons, Eric. And Le Creuset discontinued colors. So you made it just in time as I wait for 17 minutes to for the cookies to come out. I've totally dropped the ball on this whole thing. On my timing. But I was so trying to do the eggnog that I got away from like my timing aspect that normally I do pretty well. The handles of the lid are L-shaped. You'll love them. Oh, okay. But yeah, so this whole color thing, and I don't know how many colors Le Creuset has, like probably like 25, 20, 30. And the one she wanted is the one that's discontinued. So it must be L, like an L for Lodge. Is that where we're at with it? Yeah. Yeah. So that's the only thing I can think of. But no, I have not seen those yet. I was actually kind of looking. I was kind of browsing to see if they had anything out for the holidays that I couldn't live without, and then I couldn't find anything. Beagle. Biggs. Who wants a treat? That dog is somewhere. Biggs, who wants a treat? I don't want to say OUT to get her out here because then she'll want an OUT. What's Santa going to bring you guys this year? I don't know. I don't know what is going on for Christmas this year. I know that I'm not doing Christmas this year. I mean, I'm doing presents and stuff, but I'm sending everything. So I didn't put up a tree. I didn't put up a tree. I didn't put up an ornament. Dog toy. Yeah, the dog's got stuff coming. The dog's been getting stuff all week. The dog got a new dog bed. She got a couple Kong toys, a fetcher toy. She got some shirts. The shirts should be here today. The dog's been making out like a bandit. And now the dog's letting me down. Big ol'. Santa gave me a cavity. Oh no. Then I'll probably cook a steak or something. Yeah, I'm just gonna hang out. I might. That's what I was talking about Eric earlier. I was thinking about doing Tom and Jerry's or some butter rum. Trying to make some like some Christmassy drinks because my Thursday show falls on Christmas, so I'm not sure if I'm doing anything. Saying it, it's just me and the cat. Yeah, there you go. With the cat, Rich, what did your cat get for Christmas? I know you got that cat something. Yeah, that's what I'm doing for Christmas. And I'm waiting for this dog to come out and kind of kill some time here. We got 13 minutes until the cookies should be done. Yeah, that's what I said. I think I am going to do something. My normal 8 o'clock time. I just don't know what I'm going to do. My mom, and my mom doesn't live very far from me, 25 minutes. She was like, do you want to like maybe have dinner? Go to dinner somewhere? Because my mom's not feeling it either. And my kids all live like a couple hours away, and they already have like, on their mom's side, they have a lot of family up there. So they're like, they were giving me the itinerary, and they were like, yeah, Thursday we're doing this, Friday we're doing this, Wednesday we're doing this, Saturday I'm doing this. And I'm like, okay, so we're not doing Christmas here. That's okay. Checks in the mail. You know what I mean? So that's what I did. Beagle in a Christmas outfit. Yeah, she does have a Christmas outfit. She did get some Christmas. She got a Christmas thing to wear. Christmas PJs. Hopefully they'll be here by Christmas. Because everything's not here. Everything is not here. Like everything that I've ordered is that was supposed to be here, would have been here Wednesday, is still not here till today. So, yeah. Beagle! Come on, come here and get a treat. You're killing the team here. Where is that dog? I don't even know. Did I lock her in the garage? I was in and out of the garage. And Beagle, come here. You want a treat? Come on. I think she thought it was the. She's when I leave, she watches my videos. I put on the videos for the dog, so she's not here by herself. There she is. She's stretching out. She was out there sleeping. She's been out there busy all day, watching everybody in the neighborhood come and go. There she is. Those ain't wrap tight. Let's go, doggo. Yeah, exactly. Are you ready? And she got a big box of. She likes these marrow treats, which I don't get them for her very often because she has all the liver. I don't like get her the store-bought treats, but she got a box of these because it's Christmas time. You want to sit? Go back in your spot. Go back to your spot. This is how we broke the camera. Okay, you want to catch it? Catch it. There you go. We got this catching thing down. Yeah, she gave. Did you see her check her bowl? She was like, "What's in the bowl?" She always goes in there first. Mercy B, what's going on? There's somebody else not afraid to hit the like button. Where are we at on these likes? Wow, 33. Must be broke. I'll tap it, make sure it's working. You want to catch it? Let's catch it. Good job. Way to be in there, Smalls. You're killing me, Smalls. This has been one of these mornings, hasn't it? Like, come in, Dad. What you cook? Yeah. We had pork chops last night. I couldn't keep her out of the kitchen when I was making pork chops. Pork chops and broccoli, two of her favorite things. Can I get a spin? Can I get a spin? Or are you not ready for it yet? Can I get a spin? Spin? There you go. Good job. She does like these little marrow treats. It's been a while since she's had them, so she's like all about it. Little circus dog. Oop, sounds like I gotta plug something in. Plug some stuff in. There, hold on. Let me plug into this thing. That is the nice thing about this new light, is it has USB ports. So I can plug stuff into it. Hopefully that works. There we go. There you go, Fuzz. She's got good teeth. What the hell is going on? We'll do a spin for a vintage skillet. Yeah. Can you do a spin for a marrow treat? Can you do a spin? There we go. We got 10 minutes on these cookies. I'm at a loss for words, Rick. I am too. I did not time this out very well today because I was more excited about getting into the eggnog that I kind of just totally blew the timing on it. But we've only got about 8 minutes left till the cookies are done, and we'll break those out, and that'll be it. Can I get a shake? Can I get a shake? Thanks. You're doing great. You want to catch it? Catch it. Man, she's 1 for 3. She's 1 for 3 so far. My replay is like, it's funny because my replay on my monitor is like 7 or 8 seconds behind you guys, so it's like I get the replay of like what she does, kind of like at a baseball game. And you're back in your spot, go on. Back. Can down. I don't know why you're shivering. Down. You're almost there. Good job. She's gonna have so many of these treats she's gonna get sick. There she goes. Yeah, see, now I'm just getting the replay of it. Great catch. Yeah, she's not doing too bad. She's been, I've been planning on doing some chocolates, just haven't found the energy to do it. Yeah, my big excursion for holiday treats is in the oven right now. I did eggnog and yeah, kiss cam, or one of those where it looks. Have you ever seen the ones where, like at the hockey games, where it looks like you want to catch it? Catch it. Where they show a person and then they show the person that looks like them. So it'd be like it'd be the beagle. They'd put her on there, and then it'd be the dog from Mask. And then I saw when I was looking at her shirts, getting her some shirts for the winter, because these shirts things have been working out great for winter time. Know that she's not wearing one now because it's too hot in here, but they have one that's just one of her, like a rat terrier like she is. Then all you see is the eyeballs and the big ears. And that's just exactly what like my whole life is. It's like, if you guys remember like the 4th of July pictures that I posted up, where I was outside grilling kind of in the evening time, and you can see like in the window, in one of the front windows in the front of the house, you can see just like a set of eyeballs and 2 ears in the front. that's exactly what I see all day long. There's just like 2 eyeballs and 2 ears looking at everything. Is somebody out there? Who is that? Who's out there? She's on patrol. Oh, she was. As soon as I move the camera. Okay, one more. Come on, get back in your spot. Get back in your spot. There you go. We'll do one more. You got about 5 minutes on the cookies. I don't want to give you any more than these. I think you're going to get sick. Animals make the hum. Yeah, they do. That's, I never thought I'd have another dog, but there it is. I got one. Give me a spin. You can do better than that. Come on, give me a spin. That's not even trying. That's like a union worker. That's a union worker spin. Give me a spin. You wait, what is going on here? There we go. All right, you're out of here. All done. It's like, what are you getting ready to take a break? All right, beat it. Beat it, Beagle. You're out of here. Back over here. Check out the eggnog. There we go. There we go. The eggnog's done too. I think the eggnog's cool enough now I can put it in the refrigerator. And that should be finished. The meringue came out really well. I was happy with the meringue. And I drank a half quart of eggnog, so I think I've met my eggnog quota for the holiday season almost. It's about time to break out some like cheese and crackers. I'm getting hungry for lunch. This whole sugar for lunch stuff is not going that great. And the one thing I did get, and I'm really disappointed, I'll talk to you guys about that real quick. But I don't know about anybody else. Well, yeah, that'll turn you into a cat person easy. This stuff right here. Now this, I look forward to this every single year. It's the Hickory Farms Sweetheart Hot Mustard. I don't even buy like the packages or anything. I used to always just go to the mall and buy like 5 jars of this. Be there shortly. Yeah, man. Just show up right to the sliding glass window and I'll hook you up. You can just drive right up onto the patio if you want to. But I buy 4 or 5 of these things every year. And then something I look forward to every Christmas time. I got this year and it tastes 100% different. And I did my normal. I bought 4 or 5 jars of this stuff. Containers. What is it? 10 ounces of sweet hot mustard. And I am completely disappointed. I cut up summer sausage last night, cut up some cheese, poured a nice little glass of bourbon on ice, had myself just kind of watching some Christmas movies, and I dipped into this stuff, and it tastes absolutely nothing like it usually tastes every year. And I was almost convinced it tastes so different that I opened up another jar of it to taste it. It tastes really mayonnaise-ish. So I'm like super not into it. Which, this is like my favorite. Ham sandwiches with Tony Pacco's sweet hot pickles and this mustard. Off the bone ham on some nice sourdough bread. It's like my favorite sandwich of all time. Swiss cheese maybe, maybe not. Heated, maybe not. But this is not what it usually is every year. And I was completely disappointed in that. So if you're a fan of this like I am, and you picked it up this year, and it tastes different, put that in the comment section, because I am absolutely perturbed. Get a good picture of it. Yeah, Hickory Farms. Ever since they left the malls, man, it's not what it used to be. Let's see. I put pillows in it the night before. Put pillows in your bathtub. That's awesome. That's like preparation. That's when you know you're gonna do it. That's when you know you're getting down. Is when you when you know what to do the night before. That's like when I went to the store. I knew at some point I would have drinks. At some point this week. Some point this week, I'm gonna have drinks, and there's gonna be a lot of them, and there's gonna be too many of them. So I grabbed 4 citrus. They did redo the. They came back out with citrus cooler Gatorade, and so I went and grabbed a 6. I grabbed 6 of those because that has always been Gatorade has always been my go-to if I've had too much to drink. That and Chinese food. That's how I go. Red candy and food in general. I love that place in the mall. Yeah, man, I used to love that place in the mall too. And now they don't. Because I called up there about a month ago and talked to the people at our local mall, and I said, hey, is Hickory Farms going to be set up in the mall this year? And they're like, no, they don't set up in malls anymore. And he goes, at least they haven't the last couple of years. And I was like, okay. So, yeah, but I used to love that, man. Then I actually remember when they used to have the actual store, the Hickory Farms store in the mall, and it was there all year round. Yeah, that I'll tell you what, Scotty, that I hate to toot my own horn, but man, beep, that sweet and sour pork was banging. That was really good. I can't wait to try General Tso's chicken. I miss a lot of the places in the mall. Yeah, and you never really miss them until you see, like, I watch the videos sometimes on YouTube where it says, like malls in the year 2000 or malls like 1995, something like that. And that's when I remember when I was like a young kid in the 80s, I remember going to the malls and everything was open. We used to actually, when I was a little kid, we could still go to Kresge's, which was like the Kmart before when it was Kmart before when it was in department stores. And we would go to Kresge's, and that was like you took elevators. You know what I mean? You took an elevator up to one floor to the next. And I don't know why that is. I don't know why stuff like that. I know it's online shopping has gotten big, but I don't know why malls and stuff like that ever went away. Because I like to try stuff on. My biggest peeve yet that I've come across in my life, Rick misses Orange Julius. They still have Orange Julius? Since 2021. Right? And I think they still have Orange Julius somewhere. I think they're still around. I don't think they're like they're used. And I've never had, Orange Julius was never where I lived, so I've never had Orange Julius, to be honest. But I think they still have, like, in limited things. We still have Cinnabon at the one. We have the pretzel place. I forget what the pretzel place is called. And then they have that Samporo's, the pizza place. They still have one of those there. I'm trying to think what else they have. Foot Locker, Old Navy, American Eagle. I mean, did I say GNC? GNC. We still have a JCPenney's, but our Macy's closed down. Yeah, I've never had orange Julius. I always had the stuff, that grub stuff that was at like Kmart in the big plastic, um, like that had the fountain in the plastic big square. I remember that stuff. That stuff was gross. I don't know what the hell that stuff was, but it was nasty. And I even had one of those machines for a while. I got it at an auction, and I had one for about a couple years. My kids say they don't even remember when I had it, but I did have one, and I used to put orange juice in it, grape juice, like you make the cans, and I would put that into there. So let's get a trivet out, and I'm gonna break these. I think these cookies should be about done. We'll see. We'll see what happens. There we go. Well, it's taking a long time for a batch of cookies, and normally I'm pretty quick in the kitchen. Today, not so much. Oh well. What happens when you make a bunch of stuff you haven't made? I haven't made eggnog in forever. So there's a trivet. All right. I think these are done. These look done. Timer off, that off. Let me get some, let's see. Snyder's would really let us see. See, that's another one. Why the heck did it? Now, are they gonna not, are they just not gonna make them there? Or are they gonna make them, are they just moving the location, or what are they doing with that? Because Snyder's is popular. Those little pretzel pieces, we make those, people eat those things like crazy, those mustard ones. People around here go nuts for those things. Yeah, those look good. I'll take that. Give one of these and kind of pan these off. Put these onto a wire rack if I got one handy. But yeah, that's one. You know, a lot of times though, what kills these places, like places, especially like bakery places and stuff, it's the unions. Like the unions a lot of times kill them. I'm not a big union guy. I've worked for a few unions. Unions have been about the biggest waste of money, the biggest waste of $10 ever come out of my paycheck. 80 years. Yeah, I think a lot of times, like I said, man, I think unions have a lot to do with that. Because they just want, yeah, those look pretty good. That's about the color that I remember being when I got some the other day. There we go. These big ones, those came out pretty nice. The big ones, that looks really good. I might actually put these bigger ones back in there, but we don't have to wait around for all that. These little ones turned out pretty golden brown. So I'll take those, but I'm going to put those other o's back in there for a minute. They need to brown up. They're kind of soft on the top. And everybody that's on this recipe, they're saying that they used a baking sheet. So you're going to get different results with a baking sheet as you are with a piece of cast iron. It's just the way that's the way that goes. Scraping noise. Yeah, I told you this, Scotty, this is totally ASMR. The ASMR fans are totally missing it today. Probably sitting there with some girl with cat ears on, scraping a microphone when they could be in here checking all this out. It's hot. So yeah, let's have a nice warm shortbread cookie. But those came out pretty decent. I'm happy with that. So there's my shortbread cookies for the year. I might have been able, I could have probably done something cool, like put some sprinkles or something on them, but, or some sugar, but I didn't, because I don't really like sugar on my cookies that much. And I definitely don't like those sprinkles, because I don't, and I like them so little that I don't have any. So, ooh, look at that. Ooh, yeah, it's falling apart. Melt in your mouth. So I'm gonna let that, give that about 30 seconds to cool off, and then we'll have some of those. We'll have one. I am not gonna have any more eggnog though. The eggnog is I've nogged. To this point, I have definitely nogged. Mmm. Mmm. Man. Yeah, they kind of taste like the Milano cookies. Man, that's really good. Mmm. Those are good. They could have used some sugar on top. So if you decide to make these, definitely put a little sugar on top of them. Could use a little extra sweet. But those are really good. Like I've said 100 times, I'm not a big shortbread cookie person. They could have used some sugar on top. Maybe if I would have glazed them with a little butter or something and then put some sugar on there. That's something to play around with, but I'll take that. Not bad. Badger Farm remembers. Yeah. I like the ones, I don't know what they're called. My grandma used to get them all the time. They were like oatmeal. They were the Pepperidge Farm oatmeal cookies with the like cherry jelly or something in the middle of them. Those are pretty banging. And then I like chessmen. Of all things, I think chessmen are shortbread cookies. I like those. Every once in a great while. Those are like, to me, like the chessmen are sort of road trip food. I'm gonna have one more of these. They're really hot. And the bottoms came out, if you can see the bottom, it's got that nice cast iron crisp on the bottom. Nice cast iron brown. But they're not like falling apart. They really held together well. I do like this recipe. But I think I should have put some butter and some excuse me, some sprinkles on it. But I'll play around with this. I'll play around with it. And it didn't say anything on the recipe on how to do it. And if I remember right, I think when I got these from Michael the other day out at the dairy, I think they did have sugar on them. Mmm. Really buttery. Really, really buttery. I like that. And I think I should have used confectioner sugar. I think confectioner sugar, or I should have broken the, kind of blended up the raw sugar, because I noticed that the sugars kind of went to the bottom a little bit on these. So definitely use like a powdery sugar, baker's sugar, if you make this. But overall, I like it. I don't think I can have any more sugar though. That's absolutely, I've had enough sugar. Cookies made a hot cup of coffee. Yeah, I'm past coffee too. I think there is, between all that eggnog and the coffee and the little bit of bourbon that I had with that this early in the day, I think it's about time to have water for the rest of the day. Maybe some milk, but I'll let these cool down. I've got the other ones in there that are still going. I will pop those out right quick, and then we'll get out of here. Give those another minute, because those were bigger. But I give Michael one bit of credit, is that his were really square. Like, he did a really good job keeping his squared up. We see that all right? Yeah. So there we go. These look You guys can see those a little better. Those look, yeah, that's shortbread cookies. Nice. I like that size, actually. I like that size better than the smaller ones. But the other ones are nice for just a couple bites. So if you're not big on cookies, yeah, 2 of those is about perfect for me. Could have used a little sugar, but I'm not gonna continue to go on about that. But anyway, they turned out really nice. Let's check the bottom of these out. Oh yeah, that's hot, but yeah, if you can see it, the bottom came out. The bottom came out really nice. I like that. I love how cast iron does that. It gives it that nice, crisp brown bottom. There you go. But anyway, there we go. All right, so keep your notifications on for the week. I've got, not sure what we're doing about Christmas yet. Christmas show, because the next Thursday is Christmas. And all that, so hopefully we'll end up doing something. Or we'll just try and do it maybe Wednesday, maybe Friday, something along those lines, but, or just a pop-up. But keep your notifications on, check it out every once in a while, and all that. And I'm going to jump out of here, and I will see you guys in the comment section. All right, we'll see you. See you.